Let's just start off with the WTA China. Andreescu is obviously back in action. Bianca to her friends, and we are her friends. I see that she's 4-7, which is obviously about, well, like 1.6, but 1.94 minus 2.5 points against Mertens. That seems a massive price.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Andreescu's been very kind to us here at Oddsmarket, especially Snies, who, of course, will be very unhappy not to be here talking about her. But yeah, this is one of those matches where the prices don't look huge, but it's very much the kind of match where I think I have a strong read on what's likely to happen. The most basic way to put it is keep backing her until it stops working. I mean, Andreescu has been the story of 2019. She's played so well all year, and whenever you've questioned whether she'll be able to keep it up, she's always managed to do that. So in this matchup, there's a few key factors to it. I think the first one to point out, Andreescu's won her last two events. That's 14 matches in a row. She's won 46 of 51 matches in 2019, and you would have made 63.3% just blind backing her in every single match. I mean, that's ridiculous. You never really see that with anyone on tour. So that's the first point. She generally does her best work as the underdog, but actually in this situation, she's still excellent as a favorite. She's won 33 of 36 as the favorite in 2019, and in 30 of those, the handicap has landed. So there's very little reason to think that she's not going to be doing well in these situations generally. Mertens is not a player that I would take on hard courts with anyone. She's quite strong on the hard courts generally, and she can cause the better players issues. But I mean, they played at the US Open very recently. Andreescu actually dropped the first set there, but she still won by 4 games. And again, something similar wouldn't surprise me. It's kind of what happened in the first round with Andreescu. She started a bit slowly and then was very dominant after that. And so, yeah, if you look at Mertens when she's playing the top 20 at this kind of price range, so she's priced 2.37 in this match, and she's priced 2-3. She's played 21 matches. She's lost 17 of them. Which would have netted a minus 52% return if you'd bet on her every time. And the handicap landed in every single loss. So it seems like taking the extra, few points on the handicap is definitely the play in this match, as opposed to just taking the win.
Okay. How dangerous is Mertens? Is there would it be much of a shock if she did beat her?
It's difficult to say. Mertens hasn't had a great year this year. She's only won 58% of matches. Again, compare that to Andreescu, who's won 90%. I mean, it's very difficult to compare those two players on recent form. I think if you'd asked me a year ago, it would have definitely not been a surprise. I think now, to me, 2.37 looks a little bit short. It looks like she'd probably need to play a bit above the level she's shown recently to be able to do that.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty strong. I'm with you all the way here, by the way. I've not quite gone all in, but I thought the 1.94 was probably the value bet across all sports. So let's hope the minus 2.5 comes in. Anything else from WTA China you want to bring up?
So I think in China, I'm slightly hesitant to get involved with the outright side of it at this point. Snies wrote an excellent article about this at the start of the week, which goes into a lot of depth. And I think a couple of people that he mentioned. So you have Bencic and Andreescu. They're both players that we've backed before, and for good reason. Bencic in the top half, Andreescu in the bottom half. I think this is the kind of situation where the prices don't jump out as being excellent. But at the same time, it seems quite clear to me that they're both players who've been defying the trends. They've been able to go deep a lot more than the odds tend to suggest. And I think they're both in halves so with Andreescu, for example, she would be directly opposing Osaka. And I think there are lots of obvious reasons to think that Osaka, is a very reasonable favorite in that half, but that she's also not shown anywhere near the same value as Andreescu. And if that's going to continue to be the case, then I think Andreescu is definitely, a good shout in the bottom half. I think she's 7, and then Bencic 17 in the top. So they both could go well. As I say, I would probably point you towards Snies' article